What's up, Bridge Youth? I'm super glad that we get to hang out, even though virtually it's through YouTube and stuff, but I have a couple announcements before we get into the teaching. I don't know if you saw on our Instagram or on my own personal Instagram, but I put out there my PlayStation and Epic Games username. Add me on there so we can play some video games together and hang out on the game controllers. I play Fortnite and Apex, and I'll show you my skills. I ain't the best, but it'll be fun to play with you. But we're starting a new series today. We're doing Family Feud. As you saw the intro in the beginning, it's going to be a pretty fun, I think it's going to be a fun series to talk about. It's going to talk about some things that are not fun, like today's conversation is something that we're not all good at. Me, myself especially, I'm not good at this. But let's get into it. So today we're talking about patience, and patience sucks because it's never fun waiting for things. It's never fun waiting around to see what's going to happen or waiting in line for something. And I think a good example of patience is this that I have for you.
Ooh, I don't know. The Irish cream sounds good, huh? What's that?
It's cream and it's Irish.
Hurry up and order!
Excuse me. Thank you. How about a smoothie? What's in that?
Smoothie's a juice drink. We want coffee.
Buddy, relax.
No, you relax. I'm a regular here. This line needs to move.
I beg your pardon. Do you have scones?
Tall, non-fat, double latte.
Sir, you're at the back of the line.
I recognize that.
Cut it out or you're out of here.
You can't kick me out.
You know what? You're really invading my ear space.
Look, I'm a frequent coffee drinker. I'm part of the club. I have a card. Do you have a card? Do you have a card?
No, I don't have
Does
a
anyone
card.
here have a card?
We don't have frequent drinker cards.
That's a video club card.
Ah!
Zip it there, Sporty Spice.
Are we doing this?
Oh.
Is this happening now?
Yeah, wanna
Sir?
go?
Great, I'd
Let's
love
do
to.
it.
You're hurting me! You're hurting me! What is wrong with you, Derek? I thought we were friends!
My name is Andy!
Your name is Liar because you're telling lies! You know what the odds are? I will never come back here again! There's a good chance of that!
That's a chance we'll have to take.
Okay, if that's how you want to play it,
Okay.
I am disappointed!
God!
Like you saw in the clip, patience is not fun. It's not fun to wait in a line when you need coffee and you need to get your day going. It's not fun at all. So, when do you see yourself struggling with patience? I mean, I see myself struggling with patience all the time with sometimes my own self of what I'm doing either work-wise, like I'm not patient with myself. Sometimes I cannot be patient with coworkers, with my wife, or when I was younger, when I was living with my parents and stuff, with my brother, with my mom and dad. And when you're living with someone in such a close quarters, sometimes you run out of patience. And I bet right now, especially that we're in quarantine and we're always home and we're always hanging out together, patience can sometimes gain and go pretty slim. And we can snap, and we can get upset, and we can get angry, and it can ruin our day. Just like that clip, if he just would have had patience, he would have waited in the line. Yeah, it would have been a little bit long, but he would have waited in line, waited for his coffee, and he would have got his coffee and then went on with his day, and that might have been it. He might have been a little frustrated that he had to wait, but that would have been it. But since he didn't have patience and he decided to start lashing out and yelling, he ruined the relationship with the coffee members that work there. He doesn't get coffee. He's kicked out of his favorite coffee shop that he's a regular at, that he thinks he's a regular at, and now ruins that whole situation there. He can't go back there because he just ruined it and is now known as the guy that screamed and yelled that one time because there was a line and he didn't want to wait. So that's an easy example of what patience can do if you don't want to wait or you don't want to have patience on a day. It can really ruin a lot that you might not realize in the moment until later when you try to revisit or you try to do something like that again and you get embarrassed or you're ashamed or you have guilt. And a lot of things can add up and build up from not having patience. But also, sometimes not having patience is pretty understandable. Like, there are times in life when maybe you're searching for colleges or you're searching for the next high school you're going to, or you're waiting to find out if you made a sports team or if you made a music team or how good you did in something. Sometimes not having patience is understandable because you're so excited and just want to know if you did good or if you made it or where you're going next. And that's understandable. That's like I'd say that's an okay version of not having patience, because you gotta wait either way, but you're excited and you're just ready to see what's gonna happen next. But there are times when patience can bite us in the booty and not turn out well for us, like the situation in the clip. So I'm gonna challenge you guys, when you're home right now, especially we're home almost 24/7. Maybe sometimes we might get out for a hike or a walk, or maybe you get to go outside and get away from the indoors. But see where you might find yourself getting frustrated easy, or maybe your siblings are just, anything they do tends to poke your buttons wrong. Maybe they're not even doing anything wrong. You just tend to be a little less patient, a little easier to snap, a little easier to just get frustrated at them or angry at your parents or whatever it might be. But where do you see yourself maybe that's happening, where you're lashing out and you have no patience for almost anything? You just want to zone in on what you care about and what you want to do, and not maybe look at your outer bubble of who's surrounding you and who's getting affected by that. And God calls us to be patient. God wants us to be patient because there's a lot of good that comes out of patience. Like right now, you can see my hair is like crazy. This quarantine, I haven't been able to get my hair cut. I haven't been able to go to the barber shop, and the hair is looking kind of nappy and ugly right now. And I'm having to have patience to wait until the barber shops open up so I can get my hair looking better. And this is a kind of a weird example of patience, but through this moment of having ugly hair that's hard to tame and I gotta wear a hat all the time, I gotta have patience, because in the end, I'll be able to have a nice looking haircut. I'll be able to have that fresh cut feel and just be able to do my hair again easy, and it's gonna feel great. But with that patience comes that time gap of however many months I have to wait until I can get that nice barbershop cut. There is going to be a good thing at the end, but that middle gap, sometimes it's not fun to wait in. And there's times in life where we're going to have that middle gap of we don't know what the end is, but it's going to be good or it could be bad. But we have to wait patiently and see what is going to happen. God, what are you working in this moment? What do you want me to do in this waiting period until I get to find out what the result is? So, patience. I know it's not fun. I know it's not something easy to do, but the Bible has something pretty solid that God wants us to eat and feed off of this right here. So it's in James chapter 1, verse 19 through 20. It says, "My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires." If we don't have the patience that we're called to have, there's things that substitute that: anger, frustration, lashing out, being disrespectful, whatever it is. You can be going down that list as long as you want and find out things that are a result of not being patient. But God is saying, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. Because if you're not doing those things, you're not gaining the righteousness of God in those moments. And so I'm going to challenge you to be patient with your family like God is patient with us. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I miss you guys. We miss you so much. We can't wait for life to get back to normal. But I hope you enjoyed this little clip. And keep tuned in on the Instagram and see what we're doing, what's coming up next, when we're having Zoom calls, or when we're playing video games together. Make sure you're keeping in on that stuff, and make sure that you just tune in with us, because we really do miss you. And if this is the way we get to hang out, I'll take it. So good night, guys. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you later.